Modern relationships exist in a world that is fast fragmented and digitally connected. Love, friendship, and intimacy unfold amid constant communication, shifting expectations, and the pressure of choices that never seem finite. In this environment, human connection is both more accessible and more elusive than ever before. The psychology of modern relationships explores how individuals navigate attachment, trust, and intimacy in an age defined by immediacy and impermanence. It examines the ways technology, cultural norms, and evolving social expectations shape emotional dynamics, communication, and commitment. Understanding these patterns reveals the delicate interplay between desire for closeness and the complexities of contemporary life, showing how people strive to connect, belong, and sustain meaningful bonds amidst uncertainty, distraction, and the ever-changing rhythms of modern existence. Modern relationships move at a rhythm both familiar and strange. They are intimate yet mediated, deeply personal yet shaped by cultural, technological, and social forces beyond the individual. Love, friendship, and partnership exist simultaneously in physical and digital spaces, where messages, emojis, and likes carry emotional weight alongside gestures, words, and shared time. Observation reveals patterns that are uniquely contemporary. Connections form rapidly and fade just as quickly. The sheer abundance of choice, potential partners, friends, networks, creates both excitement and tension. Commitment is negotiated within a landscape that rewards flexibility yet punishes inconsistency, where closeness competes with autonomy, and desire for intimacy collides with the fear of vulnerability. Speed defines much of modern relational experience. Interactions unfold in rapid cycles, text ping, social media updates arrive, responses are expected almost immediately. Emotional signals, once conveyed slowly through conversation or shared presence, are compressed into digital gestures and brief exchanges. The mind must interpret subtle cues through screens, icons, and curated profiles, often blurring the line between perception and projection. At the same time, distance shapes connection. Physical presence is no longer always necessary for intimacy, yet absence can amplify uncertainty, anxiety, and longing. The simultaneous availability and unavailability of others, online yet not present, creates a psychological tension that informs attachment patterns, self-worth, and relational expectations. Attachment, once governed largely by proximity and daily interaction, now operates across platforms, notifications, and time zones. Secure, anxious, and avoidant tendencies are expressed in ways shaped by technology. Delayed replies can trigger insecurity, over-messaging can signal clinginess, and the constant comparison to curated lives of others can distort perception of relational satisfaction. Patterns of connection have become layered, combining innate attachment mechanisms with new forms of mediation. Boundaries are shifting. The distinction between personal and relational life is fluid, and privacy often feels negotiable. The effort of maintaining intimacy, responding to messages, and navigating social expectations is constant yet invisible. Individuals are required to balance self-care, relational investment, and digital presence simultaneously, a juggling act that can be both empowering and exhausting. Yet beneath these patterns, human desire for connection remains timeless. Despite the novelty of communication, speed, and technology, the core needs, understanding, empathy, trust, and belonging persist. What is modern is not the desire itself, but the context in which it is expressed, the mechanisms by which it is sought, and the challenges imposed by complexity, immediacy, and abundance. Recognition of these patterns is the first step toward understanding the psychology of modern relationships. By observing the interplay of intimacy and distance, speed and reflection, digital and physical presence, one begins to see the subtle forces that shape emotion, behavior, and expectation. Modern connection is a delicate dance, a blend of ancient human needs and contemporary conditions, requiring awareness, patience, and a reflective eye to navigate successfully. In recognizing these dynamics, one sees that modern relationships are simultaneously fragile and resilient, fleeting yet profound, mediated yet deeply human. They are mirrors of a world in motion, reflecting both the evolution of society and the enduring architecture of human desire. The patterns are complex, the stakes emotional, and the opportunity for insight profound. To understand modern relationships, one must trace the threads of history and culture that have shaped them. Human connection has always been influenced by societal norms, technology, and collective expectations, but in recent decades, the pace of change has accelerated, altering how intimacy, commitment, and social bonds are experienced. Centuries ago, relationships were largely structured around family, community, and survival. Courtship, marriage, and social alliances were guided by shared norms, mutual obligations, and continuity. Choices were constrained, expectations clear, and relational patterns reinforced by tradition. While these bonds often provided stability, they also limited individual freedom and choice. Industrialization and urbanization brought the first major shifts. People moved beyond small communities, encountering diverse perspectives, lifestyles, and opportunities for interaction. With mobility came exposure, choice, and novelty. love and friendship increasingly became matters of personal preference rather than obligation. The psychological landscape of relationships expanded, balancing desire for connection with emerging autonomy. The late 20th century introduced technology as a new relational force. Telephones, television, and eventually the internet changed communication patterns, extending the reach of intimacy while compressing its immediacy. Social media, dating apps, and instant messaging amplified this effect, creating spaces where connection is constant yet mediated, intimate yet distanced. The psychological impact is profound desire for closeness coexists with an awareness of abundant alternatives, producing both opportunity and tension. Cultural evolution also shapes relational expectations. Individualism, self-expression, and autonomy have become central values in many societies. Modern relationships emphasize choice, consent, and personal fulfillment, often prioritizing emotional satisfaction over duty or tradition. At the same time, exacerbated by curated digital lives, introduces subtle pressures to appear attractive, compatible, or successful in love and friendship. Gender roles, too, have transformed. The expansion of equality, career opportunities, and personal freedom has reshaped expectations of partnership, intimacy, and parenting. Modern relationships navigate these evolving dynamics, requiring negotiation, collaboration, and ongoing reflection. Flexibility and adaptability have become as essential as affection and loyalty. Historical patterns of attachment and social connection intersect with these cultural shifts. Humans are wired to seek closeness, yet contemporary contexts introduce new ambiguities. The same mechanisms that once guided mate selection, alliance formation, and social cohesion now operate in environments defined by impermanence, digital mediation, and shifting norms. Modern psychology reflects this tension. The brain seeks safety, continuity, and validation while adapting to novelty, uncertainty, and rapid change. Recognizing the historical and cultural origins of modern relational patterns provides context for understanding the challenges and opportunities individuals face today. Relationships are no longer solely personal. They are social, technological, and cultural phenomena, shaped by centuries of evolution yet accelerated by contemporary forces. In this light, modern connections are both fragile and resilient, reflecting the interplay of human nature and societal transformation. They are influenced by the past, yet not bound by it, offering both freedom and responsibility. Understanding these origins illuminates why intimacy feels complex today, why choices carry weight, and why the psychology of connection is more intricate than ever before. Modern relationships are guided not only by cultural and historical forces, but also by the intricate machinery of the mind. Cognitive and emotional mechanisms shape how individuals perceive, evaluate, and respond to partners, friends, and social networks. The interplay of thought and feeling defines connection, attachment, and intimacy in ways both subtle and profound. Attention is a central cognitive mechanism. In a world saturated with stimuli, notifications, social media, and constant communication, the ability to focus on a partner, to observe their needs, and to engage meaningfully requires conscious effort. Distraction can fragment connection, creating a sense of presence that is partial, fleeting, or mediated. The mind must navigate the tension between external input and relational awareness, balancing curiosity with commitment. Attachment patterns also govern relational experience. Secure attachment fosters trust, emotional openness, and the capacity for vulnerability, whereas anxious or avoidant tendencies can generate insecurity, withdrawal, or conflict. These patterns are magnified in modern contexts where digital mediation can obscure cues, delay feedback, and amplify uncertainty. The brain interprets these signals, shaping responses and influencing emotional investment. Emotional regulation plays a critical role. Encountering disagreement, uncertainty, or perceived rejection is inevitable in any relationship. Those who manage their responses thoughtfully can sustain intimacy, navigate tension, and maintain perspective. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to integrate cognitive evaluation with empathic resonance, fostering understanding even amid disagreement. Decision-making in relationships has grown more complex. The abundance of options, social comparison norms increase both freedom and anxiety. Each choice, whether to commit, communicate, or invest emotionally, is processed through layers of cognition and feeling. Balancing personal values, relational goals, and external pressures requires reflective thought and self-awareness. The mind continuously weighs risk, reward, and potential consequences. Reward and motivation systems in the brain further shape relational behavior. Positive reinforcement, acceptance, affection, validation encourages investment and intimacy. Conversely, perceived neglect or rejection triggers stress responses, influencing attachment behaviors and emotional responses. In modern contexts where feedback is instant yet fragmented, these mechanisms operate in complex, sometimes contradictory ways, creating oscillations between connection and withdrawal. Cognitive biases also play a role. Confirmation bias, halo effects, and assumptions can distort perception, making it difficult to evaluate partners objectively or respond adaptively to new information. Open-minded reflection and awareness of bias support healthier relational cognition, allowing individuals to interpret actions, words, and intentions more accurately. Ultimately, these cognitive and emotional mechanisms converge to create the modern relational experience, a delicate balance of attention, attachment, emotion, and reflection. The mind interprets signals, evaluates meaning, and generates responses that influence both perception and behavior. Understanding these processes illuminates why modern relationships can feel exhilarating, confusing, or fragile, and why sustaining intimacy requires both psychological awareness and emotional skill. By examining these mechanisms, one begins to see how thought and feeling coalesce to form connection. Modern relationships are a dance between brain and heart, calculation and intuition, desire and reflection. The psychology behind them reveals both the vulnerabilities and the capacities inherent in human connection, highlighting the depth and complexity of navigating intimacy in contemporary life. Modern relationships are not defined solely by intimacy or connection, they are also shaped by tension, challenge, and internal conflict. The very conditions that make contemporary connection possible, the abundance of choice, speed of communication, and digital mediation, also introduce strain, uncertainty, and emotional complexity. Commitment anxiety is one such challenge. The constant awareness of alternatives, coupled with cultural narratives that celebrate freedom and self-fulfillment, can generate doubt. Individuals may hesitate to invest deeply, balancing the desire for closeness with fear of limitation. This ambivalence is often subtle, expressed through delayed responses, avoidance of serious conversation, or the internal oscillation between attachment and autonomy. Comparison amplifies relational stress. Social media presents curated snapshots of others' connections, often filtered through admiration, envy, or aspiration. Even secure individuals may measure their intimacy against idealized portrayals, feeling inadequate or impatient when reality falls short. This cognitive comparison can distort perception, creating unrealistic expectations while undermining satisfaction in existing relationships. Instant gratification, another hallmark of modernity, reshapes emotional experience. The speed of communication and availability of connection fosters expectation of immediacy. Response is attention, affection. When expectations are unmet, frustration, disappointment, or resentment can arise, challenging patience and understanding. Modern relationships are often tested not by lack of care but by the pace and intensity of interaction itself. Autonomy and intimacy exist in constant tension. Modern relationships emphasize personal freedom alongside connection. Balancing independence with emotional investment requires conscious negotiation. Misalignment in priorities, boundaries, or goals can generate conflict, sometimes subtle and unspoken, sometimes overt. The psychological task is to maintain closeness while preserving selfhood, a delicate equilibrium that is easily disturbed. Technology, while facilitating connection, also complicates conflict resolution. Digital communication lacks the nuance of tone, gesture, and presence, creating opportunities for misinterpretation. Arguments may escalate through text, silence may feel amplified, and emotional cues may be misread. The cognitive effort to interpret and respond thoughtfully adds another layer of challenge, requiring heightened awareness and intentionality. Emotional labor is continuous. Maintaining a relationship requires negotiation, empathy, and adaptation, often under conditions of stress or distraction. Partners manage their own responses while attuning to the needs and expectations of others. Modern life adds complexity. Work, mobility, social obligations, and digital engagement compete with attention and care, creating the subtle stressors that shape relational experience. Yet conflict is not inherently destructive. Tension, when approached reflectively, can catalyze growth. Disagreements, misaligned expectations, or anxiety about closeness provide opportunities to understand oneself and one's partner more deeply. The psychology of challenge is inseparable from the psychology of connection. Navigating difficulty develops insight, patience, and relational intelligence. In recognizing these challenges, one sees that modern relationships are both fragile and resilient. They are shaped by the interplay of human desire, cultural pressures, and technological mediation. Understanding these conflicts allows individuals to approach connection with awareness and compassion, recognizing that tension is not a flaw, but a natural component of intimacy in a complex, evolving world. Communication shapes the very essence of modern relationships, yet the ways in which people communicate have transformed profoundly. Words, gestures, and shared presence are now interwoven with screens, texts, social media, and instant messaging. The mind and heart navigate a new terrain where connection is both immediate and mediated, intimate yet filtered. Digital communication offers unparalleled opportunity. Messages can traverse continents, conversations can unfold across hours or days, and connection is possible even in physical absence. These tools allow relationships to endure distance, maintain continuity, and expand the scope of social networks. They create spaces for dialogue that were previously impossible, enabling intimacy to thrive under conditions of separation and mobility. Yet with opportunity comes complexity. Nonverbal cues, tone expression, subtle body language are often muted or absent in digital contexts. Misinterpretation is common. A delayed response may be read as disinterest, a brief message as dismissiveness. The brain struggles to interpret emotional signals without the richness of physical presence, heightening anxiety, suspicion, or self-consciousness. Communication becomes a puzzle, requiring both reflection and discernment to navigate successfully. The pressure for immediacy reshapes expectations. Notifications, read receipts, and typing indicators create the illusion of constant presence. Even when attention is divided, individuals may feel compelled to respond quickly, to perform engagement rather than experience it authentically. This tension can foster stress, distraction, and relational fatigue, subtly shaping emotional availability and satisfaction. Curated presentation adds another layer of challenge. Social media profiles, photo selections, and shared updates create idealized versions of self and relationship. Partners may internalize comparisons, measuring authenticity against a polished digital performance. The psychology of perception and social comparison intersects with emotional investment, influencing trust, self-esteem, and relational confidence. Despite these challenges, technology also enables reflection and intentionality. Written communication, for example, allows for thoughtful expression, the opportunity to pause, edit, and clarify. Digital platforms can facilitate empathy, support, and connection when approached mindfully. Communication becomes not only about immediate exchange, but also about considered engagement, integrating cognitive reflection with emotional sensitivity. Listening, too, is transformed. Open-minded attention, curiosity, and empathy are more important than ever. In a landscape where distraction is constant and signals are subtle, the capacity to interpret meaning carefully, to honor intention, and to attend deeply to the other person becomes a critical relational skill. Modern communication demands presence not just in space but in awareness. Ultimately, the psychology of communication in the digital age highlights the duality of modern connection. It is both expansive and fragile, instantaneous yet mediated, liberating yet demanding. Understanding these dynamics allows individuals to navigate expression, perception, and relational nuance with awareness and care. Communication is no longer a simple exchange of words, it is a living interplay of mind, emotion, and medium, shaping connection in profound and lasting ways. Modern relationships thrive not despite technology, but because of conscious reflective engagement with it. The mind learns to interpret, the heart learns to trust, and connection becomes a practice of attention, discernment, and care, even in an era dominated by screens, speed, and constant social signals. Modern relationships demand more than affection, they require adaptation, reflection, and conscious growth. The pressures of speed, technology, and evolving social norms mean that individuals must continually navigate shifting expectations, personal desires, and relational needs. Growth is not optional, it is an integral part of sustaining meaningful connection. Adaptation begins with self-awareness. Partners who reflect on their own values, emotional responses, and communication patterns develop insight into how they contribute to relational dynamics. They learn to identify triggers, manage expectations, and balance autonomy with intimacy. This self-understanding allows for deliberate choices, turning reactive impulses into thoughtful engagement. Flexibility in thought and behavior supports relational resilience. Life introduces constant change, career shifts, relocations, evolving identities, or cultural influences. Open-minded and reflective individuals adjust their approach to meet these challenges without losing emotional grounding. They learn to negotiate differences, recalibrate expectations, and integrate new experiences into the shared narrative of the relationship. Growth is relational as much as personal. Healthy partnerships encourage mutual learning, reflection, and support. Each conflict, misunderstanding, or challenge becomes an opportunity for insight. Emotional intelligence, attunement to one's own feelings and those of others, enhances empathy, fosters dialogue, and strengthens connection. Over time, these small moments of understanding accumulate, deepening trust and emotional intimacy. Technology, while complex, can facilitate adaptation. Digital communication allows for clarification, thoughtful discussion, and creative expression of care. Couples and friends who navigate these tools mindfully find that screens can extend emotional presence rather than diminish it. Awareness of potential pitfalls, misinterpretation, distraction, or over-reliance enables individuals to use technology as a bridge rather than a barrier. Learning to tolerate ambiguity and uncertainty is central. Modern relationships often present unpredictability, differing goals, external pressures, or personal growth trajectories. Those who embrace reflection and open-mindedness navigate these uncertainties with curiosity rather than defensiveness. They integrate change into the relational fabric, transforming potential stress into opportunities for shared understanding. Adaptation also involves boundary setting. Emotional growth requires balancing personal needs with relational investment. Modern connection is not about constant availability, it is about mindful presence, choosing when to engage deeply and when to maintain space. This equilibrium nurtures both selfhood and intimacy, allowing relationships to thrive without erosion of individual identity. Ultimately, growth and adaptation reveal the transformative potential of modern relationships. Connection is not merely a passive experience but an active. By embracing reflection, flexibility, and empathy, individuals create partnerships capable of withstanding stress, embracing change, and cultivating deeper understanding. Modern relationships, though complex, can become spaces of learning, resilience, and profound human connection. In this process, individuals discover that sustaining intimacy requires continual engagement, not in the sense of control, but in the mindful balancing of needs. Adaptation transforms relationships from fragile patterns into living, dynamic systems that reflect both the beauty and challenge of contemporary human connection. Modern relationships are, at their heart, a meditation on human connection. They are defined by desire and fear, presence and absence, certainty and ambiguity. In an age of immediacy and digital mediation, intimacy is both enriched and complicated, fragile yet resilient. To observe these relationships is to witness the subtle interplay of mind, heart, and culture. Love and friendship in the modern world demand both courage and reflection. They require the willingness to show vulnerability amid uncertainty, to engage deeply despite the distraction of constant stimuli, and to navigate the tension between personal freedom and relational closeness. Each interaction carries weight, not only in the moment but as part of an ongoing narrative of trust, understanding, and shared experience. Technology, choice, and cultural evolution have reshaped the landscape, yet the essential human needs remain unchanged. Individuals seek recognition, empathy, and belonging. They desire understanding, emotional resonance, and the quiet comfort of being seen. Modern relationships are extraordinary precisely because they combine these timeless needs with the novel challenges of contemporary life, asking humans to balance the ancient heart with the modern mind. Conflict and challenge, when approached with awareness, become opportunities for growth. Misunderstandings, differing expectations, and moments of distance illuminate patterns of thought, feeling, and attachment. The reflective individual recognizes these moments as mirrors, revealing not flaws alone, but the potential for insight, adaptation, and deeper intimacy. Relationships are strengthened not by avoidance of difficulty, but by conscious navigation through it. Communication, both verbal and digital, is a delicate art. Words, gestures, and messages carry meaning that is interpreted, filtered, and felt. Attunement, active listening, and empathy transform interaction into connection, bridging gaps of distance, expectation, and perception. The psychology of dialogue becomes a practice of presence, patience, and compassionate reflection. Ultimately, modern relationships are a dance between permanence and impermanence, engagement and autonomy, simplicity and complexity. They require awareness of self and other, the courage to embrace vulnerability, and the willingness to navigate ambiguity. In doing so, individuals cultivate a form of intimacy that is resilient, adaptive, and profoundly human. To reflect on modern relationships is to acknowledge both their beauty and their difficulty. They are spaces of growth, reflection, and shared experience. They mirror the evolving human psyche, the tension between tradition and change, the longing for connection amid the demands of contemporary life. Each relationship is a story, a living narrative of care, challenge, understanding, and discovery. In this reflection, one sees that love and friendship are not static. They are living, evolving, and reciprocal. They require patience, discernment, and mindfulness. They thrive when the mind observes, the heart listens, and both navigate the delicate currents of connection with awareness and grace. Modern relationships, in all their complexity, remind us that the essence of human connection, empathy, understanding, and the courage to be seen, remains timeless even as the world around us accelerates, shifts, and transforms.